In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect your OpenAI API account inside NAN so you can actually use ChatGPT within your workflows. Now, one thing to note is that you cannot use your ChatGPT Pro account or whatever other account there are nowadays. This is a separate API account. So there's a different account that you need to supply funds to via credit card, and it's going to be used per use. So it's not like you have a monthly subscription and they're all covered with that. This is a per use. So whenever you use this API, it's going to take funds from the amount that you provide, but then it's always there waiting for you. So it's not like a monthly subscription. You just pay as you go. So if you end up only using it one time and it costs less than a cent to be able to use it until you run out. And once you run out, you then need to either have it automatically replenish, or you just need to know to go back in and fill it up whenever your workflows stop running. To get started, we do need to create an OpenAI account to be able to get an API key to then put in NAN. The website we need to go to is the openai.com/API. I'll have a link in the description for you as well. But at the top right, we want to click on Login and then choose API Platform. And here, choose the way you want to log in with. I'm just going to choose to continue with Google. Once you're logged in, it'll bring you to the Docs page by default. We actually want to go to the Settings button here at the top right. So organization name, I just put personal. And then we can continue on and hit save. And then on the left, we want to click on Projects. We need to create a new project if you haven't yet already. So up here in the top right, click on Create, and then put a name in. So just like NAN, for instance. I'm going to cancel since I already have one created. But once you create a project, you should then see the project appear at the top. You do need to add some funds to the API to actually be able to use this in NAN. To do that, we need to go over to Billing and then click on Add Payment Details. Then you fill all this information out for our credit card. They recommend at least putting in $5 to $10. If you're just using like the regular text portion, they'll last you months probably, depending on how many you're running. If you're going to do images, I've noticed those are usually about 16 or 17 cents per image. If you plan on doing that, you may want to add a lot more. You do have an option in here to automatically renew when you run out. If you're going to intend to use it a lot, you may want to do that. Otherwise, your workflows will start failing and you won't really know why until you come in here and see that your balance is at like negative. On the topic of the images, there is one other step you need to do. If you go up to General on the left, you do need to verify your organization. It's going to ask you to give photos of your ID, your government ID, like your driver's license or passport, for instance. And then it's going to ask you to take pictures of yourself to actually verify that it matches the picture on your ID. So just keep in mind that does take a few minutes to go through, but that's a one-time thing. So you will not be able to use the image generation without going through that verify organization. If you want to do that, you don't have to do this part to do just the text. Once you're done with adding the funds, you can go back to API key and then click on create new secret key. Give it a name. So for the name, I usually put in what I intend to use it for. So in this case, it's just NAN demo or NAN tutorial. But like if you want to use this specifically for a specific type of workflow or a branch of your company or whatever the case may be, you can put that in here. And then this chart will actually break it down to show you the amount that each key is using for like billing and tracking purposes that may be useful for you. But put in the name and then choose the project, and then create secret key. And then you can copy this and we can head back to NAN. So once we're back in NAN, we can just add a OpenAI node here. And we're going to create a node that says message a model. And then credential to connect with. You want to click on that and choose create new credential. Up here in the top left under OpenAI account, you can name this the same as the name you gave it in the OpenAI. That way you can track to make sure it's the same. So we're just going to say NAN testing, and then put in the API key that you copied earlier. And then you can leave the rest alone and hit save. After you put in the credential, you want to choose the resource. So in this case, we're just going to choose text, but here you can actually choose image and it will change over to a different model. You tell it to generate an image, analyze an image, and then choose the model. Typically you want to choose the most recent, so ChatGPT image 1, there might be image 2, 3, who knows, later on down the road. But by default, it's going to go to DALL-E 3, so just make sure you choose the right model if you want to use images. But if you want to go back to text, this would be like it would be if you're chatting with ChatGPT normally. In the model, you want to choose which model you want to use. So if you know you want to use like a ChatGPT 4 mini, for instance, 4.1 mini, 4.0, or if you want to use GPT-5 or whatever else is out nowadays, you can come down here and choose it. You can also search for it, but in this case, we're just going to choose mini. In the messages area, you have the prompt and you have these roles. The user prompt is typically what you put in the ChatGPT. Just you have a question you want it to answer, or a prompt, whatever. The assistant is kind of like giving it context. So like if you wanted to respond in a specific tone, or if you want to give it some examples, here's where you would do that. And then the system is where you actually tell it, you're a social media expert, you're an SEO expert. So like if we just want to run it through and have like create 5 inspirational quotes, just for example. And then down here, if you're going to use the output from this in your workflow, I always recommend choosing the output content as JSON. That way it's a lot easier to just use it elsewhere. And then down here underneath options, you do have all these different options. You can actually come in and modify how you want to act. I'm not going to get into all that because I honestly don't know it. So I'm just going to leave all those. If we were to run this now, just execute step, you should now see the output pop up over here on the right. And then you could use this in a future workflow. Another thing to keep in mind here, once you do add funds to your API, you'll see the credit balance here, and then the credits do expire after 13 months. So if you come up into here under the billing credit points, you can see any of the previous credits that you put in and the expiration date. Start off with a little bit of money, so like $5 for instance, see how far that goes, and then add more as you need it. Like for instance, I ran out of my initial $5 input, so I put another $10. So this will show like the total amount you put in, but keep in mind this first $5 is used up already. So it's kind of a weird way they did it, but I'm guessing after January 31st, 2026, that will drop off to $5 less. But keep in mind, it will expire after 13 months. So don't put hundreds of dollars in here and find out you're not going to use it and it just all goes away. So something to keep in mind. Hopefully that helped with clearing up how to get ChatGPT inside your end-to-end workflows. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them down there as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.